When it's time to start Medicare, one thing you find out pretty quickly is how much stuff you need to figure out so that you don't make the wrong choices, because there's some really important decisions that you have to make when you first start Medicare. So we want to make sure that we get it right. And you've probably watched a lot of videos, you've looked around the internet, and you see there's just a multitude of things to look at. And sometimes it's just completely overwhelming. People get a little paralysis with going through the information that they need to try and figure out, and they just don't know where to start. You don't know what to watch first or how to set things up correctly. So I'm going to make it a little bit easier. We're going to break it down into pieces. I'm going to show you exactly what I think you should watch. I certainly have a lot of videos, too many videos for somebody to watch through every single one of them. So we're going to pick out the ones, if you're starting Medicare, that I think are really the most important ones to make it a little bit easier. So what I would first do is I would save this video into your watch list. What I do is when I have a video that I'm going to go back to time and time again, I put it in my saved watch list for watch later. And then that way I can always go there and it's easy to find. So I'm going to give you the other videos, and I'm going to put the links below this one in the description on the ones that I think that you should watch when you're about to start Medicare. And I'm Keith Armbrecht. I'm founder of Medicare on Video. I help people across the country make the right Medicare choices. I want to be able to help you just make it as easy as we can. So what we would first start with when we're going to start Medicare is the basics. So we want to start with the basics of Medicare. This runs through pretty much A, B, C, and D, and just gives you an overview of exactly how they work. So that's a great place to start when you're trying to learn how it all functions. I just wanted to jump in for a quick second and invite you to join my private Facebook group, Talking Medicare, where you can get answers to just about any questions on Medicare and interactions with others that are also in Medicare. There are no agents, no sales whatsoever. It's absolutely free. Just visit talkingmedicaregroup.com. It'll take you right there. You can sign up for free. Easy to do. Enjoy the video. So put that at the top of your list to get started with your education on Medicare. Now, after you finish that, I would go a little bit deeper. So here I explain Medicare Part A and Medicare Part B in a little greater detail. And it's really not that complicated. Once you get the hang of it, the basic understanding of it, it's really not all that complicated. One thing about Medicare, it's actually really good. You've likely had group health and coverage your entire life, and you have kind of a basic understanding of how that stuff works with co-pays and co-insurance and deductibles and things like that. Medicare is pretty similar in how it functions, but it's important to understand the different pieces. And I don't know why they break it down into so many different pieces, A and B. A is hospital stuff, B is doctor stuff, but they do. And so we need to understand it so that we don't have any surprises. So take a look at this video for the deeper dive into Medicare Part A and Part B. Now, once we get a pretty good understanding of the foundation of Medicare, let's look into what it's actually going to cost. So what our out-of-pocket expenses will be, number one, going in, and number two, as we use it. So there are some costs to Medicare that you pay up front. There's a premium for Medicare Part B, and then there's premiums for other things if you choose them. And then once you're in place, there are out-of-pocket expenses that go along with it. So this video on the real cost of Medicare goes through those pretty easily and gives you a pretty clear idea. And again, so we don't have any surprises when it comes time to use it. We want to make sure that we maximize our Medicare plan as best we can. So take a few minutes, understand the costs that are involved using your Medicare, and then that way you're fully prepared when it comes time, God forbid you have a serious health issue. You'll know ahead of time before you start pretty much what it's going to cost you out of pocket. So we don't have any financial problems as well as we're going through whatever medical situation we may have ongoing. Something else that's important is maybe you're not going to come into Medicare at age 65. Maybe you're going to stay at work and you have a good group health plan. You're going to stay on that group health plan, which is certainly generally the way to go because your employer's probably paying for most of it. So you want to stay on that group health plan until you retire. You may retire at 67, 70, 77, whatever it may be. At that time, you're going to come into Medicare. So there are things you need to know because it's a little different when you do that, but it's not complicated. We just need to get our ducks in a row, certainly ahead of time before we retire, so that everything goes smoothly coming into Medicare. So this video, working past age 65, tells you everything you need to know if you're going to stay at work and stay on your group health plan and you're not going to come into Medicare until later. And I've had people in their mid-80s, unfortunately or fortunately. Some people love to continue working. If that's the case, then you need to know what you're going to need when you come into Medicare after age 65. So take a minute, watch this video. And again, all these links are in the description below. Makes it easy. Save this video in your watch list and have it for watch later. And that way you've got all those links easy to find when it comes time to go through that information. Now, when you're first starting Medicare, whether you come in at age 65 or you come in after age 65, whatever it may be, when you first start, you have a huge decision to make. There's two avenues within Medicare that you have to choose from. Either to choose a Medicare Advantage plan, all the commercials that you see on TV, they're run by private insurance companies, or to stay on original Medicare, generally with a Medicare supplement plan. So those are your two choices. Go with a Medicare Advantage plan or stay with original Medicare and a Medicare supplement plan. If you've watched any of my other videos, I always recommend staying with original Medicare whenever possible. It is fantastic. The coverage is terrific. They don't have any restrictions. You can go to any doctor, any hospital. There's a whole bunch of reasons. But videos that I have that explain this, first this one, Medicare Advantage versus Medicare Supplement, how they differ. And then I would always recommend this video. It's one of my highest viewed videos, why I would never choose Medicare Advantage. And it's pretty simple. And some people push back on me for that, but it's what I personally feel. I've been in this business for a very long time. I know how these things function. I know what I would want going forward. I don't want to ask for permission to have things done when I need them with my health care. Medicare Original is autonomous. You don't have to, the doctor doesn't ask for permission. If he thinks you need something and you agree, you do it. It's really that simple. Medicare Advantage, whole different scenario with pre-authorizations, referrals, all sorts of crazy stuff. But anyway, watch these two videos to understand that major choice on how you're going to have your health care delivered in the future. And it's a big one because you can generally make it just once when you come in without any questions. After that, it can be more complicated. And then after you've made that decision, if you do choose to stay with original Medicare, I hope you do, then you're going to want to figure out the best Medicare supplement plan. And this video breaks that down, the best Medigap plan. And we do this every year, so you want to make sure you come back year after year just to look for updates and if things have changed. And generally, the out-of-pocket expenses change a little bit year to year, but just make sure you keep an eye on that as you go. But this one breaks down the differences between Medicare supplement like Plan F, Plan G, Plan N, what might be best, and it can differ by your location. So make sure you understand exactly how they function, and that's kind of where this next video goes, is how a Medicare supplement plan works. And again, it's almost too good the way original Medicare with a Medicare supplement plan works. It just makes things so easy. You do it the way you want to do it. You can go to any doctor, any hospital. There's no pre-authorizations. There's no referrals. It's simply getting done what you need to have done. And that's exactly the way I would want my healthcare to go, especially as I get older, where things are going to come along that could be serious. At some point, going to be serious, no matter what. We're all going to get there. You want to be in a position where you don't have roadblocks and speed bumps and things in your way. You want to do what your doctor wants you to do. And it's just so important to me to have it work that way. So these are the videos that I would be watching if I were about to start Medicare, whether it's at age 65 or whether it's at age 75, 80, whatever it may be. That's exactly the way that I would want things to work. So I hope you found this video helpful, and you'll certainly find the other ones helpful. We're here to help. Give us a call. Fill out the form on my website. We'll make sure we get your pieces put in the right places. Here's a couple other videos and a playlist that you might find helpful. And again, we're here to help. Just give us a call or fill out the information on my website. Hope you have a fantastic day.